Welcome to AirHeads. Roy's busy breeding at the moment, so you've got me instead. Lucky old Roy. First up, sky's the limit. We're rabbiting on the Isle of Skye. The rodent connoisseurs are hard at work. It's a rat restaurant review. How far away would you shoot a rabbit? It's the latest from the Book of Revelations according to Lord Ted Almighty. First, bent barrels are driving Andy Crow round the bend. Andy Crow has many talents, but does he have the force?
So what's this?
We have a little challenge for him.
It's time for me to look, is it? So what's this then? Is this a Mark Gilchrist test gun, is it? Well, to me, this looks like a Mark Gilchrist test gun. Yep.
Can you make it work?
I can make anything work, but does the pellet go out of it?
Apparently.
Apparently the pellet comes out of it. Right.
You've got to shoot around the corner.
So I've got to shoot around the corner. Then hit what? That tin. You want me to hit that tin? Yeah. Alright, okay.
Think you can do it?
No.
The gun is on loan from Ronnie Sunshine's, one of the UK's best known airgun emporiums. The poor old battered and bruised Springer is usually on display in the shop. It looks like it's seen much better days, and we couldn't believe it when the guys in the shop said the old Webley still shoots. Now, guns that shoot round corners are nothing new. The Germans developed an attachment for the Sturmgewehr 44 called the Krummlauf. Most of the bullets that came out of it shattered. Those that made it 100 yards achieved a group of about a foot, and it wore out after 300 rounds. Today there is an outfit called Corner Shot that makes an attachment for handguns, allowing you to shoot into open windows from below the windowsill. Crow sorts himself out. Using his idle back chair and a set of Primos bipod legs, he gets settled and tries to see the can, sense the can, shoot the can. Oops, the air rifle gives the board a bit of a rattle. We could be here for a while, so David will act as spotter. Incredibly, it only takes a couple more shots and he hits the tin.
Down a bit. To the wall again. Try that. Yeah!
Hit the can! Man, I can shoot round corners. I can't believe I've shot a hole in the can. Now I know why Mark bent the barrel. Improves the shooting. No, you can't use that. Right. You're not, are you? Okay, yeah. Honest. That's not good, David, if you use that, because he won't like me no more. Right.
We feel Andy should be making the shot using his own judgment, so this time he has to rely on the mirror image. Don't ask where we got the bathroom cabinet.
Up to me. Oh, come towards me a little bit. Yourself, that's it. So right down that barrel. That's it.
Well, that's well high.
Got to zero the mirror in. Yes.
That was in line, but it's high. Really high.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, this whole gun's got some power in it. That can't be.
Get it, you got it.
Did it?
Bottom corner.
Ah, way to go.
It takes a while, but then he's on it again. Just.
It's all round it, look. Look at it. Christ. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 hits. Made the board like a pepper pot. I've been hitting it. Just shooting high.
Is it the feature?
No. I didn't think the pellet was even going to come out of it. I thought we were going to be trying to push that out with a bit of steel rod, but no, the pellet come out and it's gone through this bit of board. So yeah, it's got some go about it.
Not satisfied with shooting around corners, we want to find out if he can shoot around corners using an unabused air rifle, the Walther LGV we've got on test.
David's come up with the idea. He gives me Mark Gilchrist brand new test gun with a bent barrel. He only had it a day. Now he's given me another rifle to try out. And we put a sheet of tin up there at 45 degrees. We're shooting at the tin and the pellet's going off at 45 degrees. So it's another way of shooting around the corner.
Ricochet can be a wonderful thing. Here is top golfer James Kingston with the luckiest shot of his career, scoring a hole-in-one by bouncing the ball off a tree and winning a car. Andy is happy with the placement, and the slight curve in the steel plate is sending the pellet off at a right angle.
Pellets go around corners. Pellets hit here. It's come across at this angle. That's where it's hit again because the tin sticks out a bit more. It's hit the tin there. It's come right the way down. Bang, hit the can. Yep. 2 shots, hit the can both times. Next thing David will be saying, let's put a smaller can there.
Look what we found, a golf ball.
You like that, didn't you? You like that one.
We get the strike of the golf ball, but no sense of pellet's movement. However, on a couple of the misses, you can see the pellet fragments flying through frame. So what have we proved? Number 1, bent barrels don't kill rifles, but render them pretty useless. Number 2, the Walther LGV is accurate enough to put a camera in front of without fear of hitting it. And number 3, the force is strong in this one.
Yes.
Thank you, Andy. Now from bent barrels to a wonky willy, it's David with hot air.
This is Hot Air. The award for Pointless Story of the Year goes to BurnhamOnSea.com. The local news service reports a pigeon is making a full recovery after being shot by an airgun. The site describes how wildlife charity Secret World Wildlife Rescue found the pigeon injured in a local car park and took it in. Gamo Outdoor USA has just unveiled its newly redesigned Recon G2 Whisper. It's an airgun aimed at the youth precision market. It boasts fluted polymer jacketed steel barrel, tactical style black stock and Gamo's own whisper muzzle noise reduction. Staying with the USA and their celebrity endorsement for Crosman's Wildcat pistol. Ava Shockey talks about the company's CO2 pistol in this film and introduces Nitro Piston 2 technology. And finally, New Zealand pizza company Hell has been getting into hot water. It's caused uproar amongst anti-hunters and vegetarians alike with its latest advertising campaign. Thanks to viewer Chris Cartwright for sending this one in. You are now up to date with Hot Air, aiming for accuracy, targeting the truth.
Thank you, David. Now, do you know why airgun pellets look like they do? Well, Daystate's Tony Belas does.
People ask me, why do we use a shuttlecock shape, the Diablo pellet, and not a solid slug or a bullet shape, which you think would be more efficient? Well, the answer for that is the limited amount of energy that an airgun produces. We're using, in 2.2, 560, 570 feet per second. When you think a firearm, military-grade firearm, is shooting at 3,000 plus feet per second, and we're producing 12 foot-pounds of energy, essentially similar to what a cricket ball has. So it's not a lot of energy, and a bullet in one of these guns absorbs so much energy in the barrel that you lose velocity very rapidly. So we stay with the pellet shape. Because we're using a pellet shape, it doesn't necessarily come out square. Typically an airgun pellet exits the barrel slightly nose down, or nose up, but usually nose down, and then it self-centers, much like a shuttlecock does. If you want to try this at home, shoot an air rifle at a piece of paper at 5 yards and you'll notice that the pellet hole is slightly elliptical. So silencers usually have an exit hole slightly larger than they need to have. Obviously, the larger the exit hole, the more noise that comes out the hole. This one's trimmed right down to be just bigger than the 177 caliber that is. How Daystate get around this is we actually fit the silencer at midpoint. So we use a reflex part, and this keeps the silencer as short as possible and also helps bring the centre of gravity back, and we use a carbon fibre as well to keep it light so it doesn't affect the weight of the gun. Silencers on air guns, generally at 12 foot-pounds, any built-in silencer is usually enough. At firearms power, you almost certainly need an additional silencer. However, it's quite fashionable to have an additional silencer, helps keep the rifle as quiet as possible.
Over the last few weeks, James Marchington has been bait testing corvids. Now it's Darren's turn with rats. On the menu this evening we have the bait surprise. What's the surprise? You really do not want to know, sir. Right, let's get serious. Darren Master Chef Rogers is doing a culinary experiment.
So here's my smorgasbord of food all laid out. So we've got some nice meaty cat food, some chunks of cheddar cheese, some peanut butter, some chocolate and hazelnut spread. My friend Mr. Rabbit, I think he's seen better days, and a nice pile of peanuts. So I know I've got rats coming here regularly, so we're going to just sit back over the next 7 days, film the action, and then hopefully get some rat shooting at the end of it. Place your bets.
So what discerning rat could possibly turn up its nose at such delicacies? Over a week it becomes clear to Darren what titillates their taste buds and what just doesn't work. Darren also discovers that blue tits are carnivorous. Not really. A rabbit fur-lined nest sounds very cosy. At the end of the experiment, and before they eat Darren out of house and home, the 2 resident rats need to go.
As you can see, we've got a rat out already. That's already had the peanuts. That's had the chocolate. Now it is most intent on the meat, but let's see. So that's one down. I wonder if there's many more. I love it when a plan comes together. So we've got number 2 of the evening turned up. And another nice little headshot. So again, I didn't even give that one a chance to get up on the board and have a feed that looked like he was going to go for the rabbit's head. But tonight, the experiment's all over. Tonight is just about getting rid of some of these rats now.
So what is hot and what is not?
The same smorgasbord of food went out every night, and on 3 occasions the cheese wasn't touched at all. So the cheese came last. Chocolate was by far the favourite, closely followed by the rabbit's head. The cat food and the peanut butter and the peanuts were very hard to tell apart. But I've got to say, me personally, I was very, very surprised that the cheese just wasn't touched. Not touched. But that was good, and that was nice to wind up and get a couple of kills on the end to show you guys. As always, the FX rifle, you know, I wound it down to 12 foot-pound because I was only shooting, that was bang on 30 yards with the Nightmaster torch. My homemade night vision on the back, all worked extremely well.
Who'd have thought it? Chocolate, everyone's favourite nibble. At the cutting edge, Phill Price talks knives.
If you're going to go hunting with your airgun, you're going to need a knife. You'll need to prepare your game, and generally most airgun shooters will take a folding knife. This is a very traditional buck, wooden handles, brass bolsters, all very elegant, but actually today the majority of us are choosing a synthetic knife. These handles are very, very grippy even if your hands are cold or bloody, and also you can scrub it. You can get it in hot water, scrub at it and ensure that it's clean. If you're preparing meat for the table, the last thing you want to do is introduce old blood and fur from an animal you shot weeks ago into a meal you're going to eat today. It doesn't need to be a big knife. A lot of people are tempted to get something very big. As long as it's big enough to fill your hand, get a secure grip on it, that's important. And also the quality of the steel. This is an Eka that Sporting Cutlery sent through to me, and I've used it a lot. I find that this drop point shape actually suits me better than the more traditional clip point, because this tends to poke things like guts more easily, whereas the drop point tends to be a little bit more controllable. The other thing you must remember is these are locking knives. Therefore, in the eyes of the law, you cannot carry them in a public place. You can take them to and from your shoot, but don't forget it's in your coat pocket and stop at the petrol station. You are breaking the law. So what I normally do is put it into the side of my gun slip, so it's in the boot of the car, and I'm not going to forget and walk into the pub or something with it still in my coat pocket.
Now, when money is no object, what would Peter Zammit of the Airgun Centre take home as booty haul?
A question we get asked a lot is, I want to buy myself an air rifle. Budget is no consideration at all. I'll spend what it takes. I just want to get the best there is available. Well, here's a little selections, 4 rifles that we feel really tick the box. This is an all electronic, fully computerized air rifle. This really is technically as advanced as you get today. That's the Mark IV Daystate, and this is the thumb hole model. Next on the wish list would be this, which is the Daystate Airwolf MTC. Again, the same electronic wizardry as the earlier rifle, the Mark IV Daystate. Now, this one slightly differs in as much as it's got this huge air reservoir. This thing in either calibre is going to give you in excess of 300 shots per charge. Beautiful thumb hole walnut stock. Yeah, a real winner. The final of the 3 Daystates, this one is the Mark IV Target, sometimes referred to as the Panther. This has the same action as the Mark IV that we saw earlier, but it's got this adjustable, more targety, field targety type stock. It's actually got the most fantastic tactical rubberized finish on it. It's so comfortable to hold. Again, all the same electronic wizardry, and it's a must have really if the budget allows. Finally, out of the 4, this one here is a FX Bobcat. It's a quirky looking thing. You either love it or you hate it. I guess you could call it a Marmite rifle. 12-shot magazine, which kind of fits in there when it's not needed, slips in there when you're loading the rifle. Comes with a 3-stage power setting. As you can see, it's got this rather unusual smooth twist barrel, which differs from a normal rifled barrel in as much as it's just the final part of the barrel that's actually rifled. Again, very, very, very accurate thing. Really unusual looking, but actually very, very comfortable and easy to get on with. Slightly different, I guess. Sometimes it's nice to be different though. So to summarise, budget no option. There you have 4 fantastic, cutting edge technology, best air rifles I've ever shot, fully computerised, fully electronic. I don't see how it can get better than that.
Well, now the magpies in the south of England have died of old age. Captain Slow, or James Marchington as we also call him, has gone to the Isle of Skye after retarded reaction rabbits.
I've got very few rabbits on my permission back home at the moment, so I got a nice surprise when I came to visit my parents here in Scotland and found the place was absolutely swarming with them. There's acres and acres of rough grazing here and the rabbits have just gone wild all over it. There's plenty of old walls and hills and bumps that you can use to give yourself a bit of cover and dead ground to creep up on the rabbits and sneak in for a shot. Well, I made a few schoolboy errors, but after a while I got some results as well. but I still couldn't find where all the rabbits were really coming from. I was sure there must be a big burrow somewhere. And then I realised every time I frightened one, it ran uphill. So I set off up the hill to find out where they were all going. Well, it was a bit hairy, but right at the top there was a massive burrow. So that's where they were all coming from. I found myself a nice place to hide up in the rocks. I was impressed with how the camouflage blended in. It wasn't long before the rabbits started to show. First a pair of ears, and then a couple of rabbits skipping around down below me. And then this one appeared just along the slope. It made quite a straightforward shot, but it rolled down the slope and I had some way to walk to collect it. So there we are, successful outing after the rabbits. A few showers, but lovely weather in between. Had a great time, got some nice rabbits for the pot.
From Skye to the skies above, God calls him God. It's Ted.
Teddy Bear, you've stopped returning my calls. But what's the max range you would shoot a rabbit?
"91 yards. I have a 25 caliber 48 foot-pound FX Bobcat, and the only reason that I wouldn't take a 110 yard shot on him is because somebody would get their feathers ruffled. I mean, really.
Back to more worldly matters, and what are air gunners on Earth doing? It is AirStreaming. Charlie Jacoby here. This is my weekly roundup of the best air gunning on YouTube. Jace UK Hunting is out with his FX Bobcat in .30, delivering 80.15 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. In his film Air Rifle vs Pigeon, my money is on the air rifle. Airgun Hunter UK plans a summer of intensive rat hunting. Here is a short introduction to his anti-rat campaign. Justin Taylor sends in his film Air Rifle Hunting Crows October 2013. He bags 21 corvids and a rabbit in just a couple of hours. Hunter's Vermin resolved to get some hunting footage of the Armex Airstream pellets that he tested earlier, and this is it. Air Rifle Hunting Armex Pellet Test Fur and Feather 2014. It's not a good week to be a magpie. Air Rifle Hunting Magpie's Pest Control is by Freeman Shooting. Next, a couple of viewers. SRS Power is airgunning rabbits. He is out with his brother Pat, and between them Pat's Virag HW77 and his Air Arms S310, they have a lovely time. Russell Turnbull has uploaded Airgun Hunting How Far Is Too Far. The filming may be a bit in and out, but the presentation style is clear and the message is nicely concise. This channel could go far. And finally, how could I not plug a film from the Tederissimo, the Ted of Ted, the absolute Ed Gun, hunting pigeons from the bathroom from Ted's holdover. Has the man doing what he says on the tin. Cue the applause. Click on the links to watch the videos, or you will find them in this film's description. If you would like to send in a video for AirStreaming, ping me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, this has been AirHeads. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, go to the website. See you in a couple of weeks.